Hey, what's up? This is Corbett Chandler, founder and CEO of Apex Current. I'm so excited that you're here at the site right now. This is a massive opportunity for your business, and we have the formula for success. It's been proven on multiple business models. I've spent many of late nights learning it, perfecting it, and proving out success with my clients. Sales from anywhere to $50, $60 to $600 sales, completely online based, and also building leads and being able to nurture those leads and ultimately get more sales through that. So thank you for stopping by. Take your time to watch this video. It's about 10 minutes long. I definitely think it's something that you should check out, and I look forward to hearing from you. All right, take care. Bye. First and foremost, we have our prospects, Jack and Jill, here. And Jack and Jill are busy with life, right? Between recreation, between their family, between work, church, or their community, whatever else, they have a lot going on in their life. But what is consistent about all of them is that social media has, for better or worse, right, wrong, or indifferent, it has integrated its way into everything that we do in life. Again, whether that's someone watching TV, whether you're with your family, whether you're at work, or even at church. And it just is what it is. It's maybe it's a sign of the times, but Facebook specifically, massive audience there, and this media organization that has so much information on consumers and what they do and their actions and activities. You can actually go into Facebook, and I could show you guys how to do this, into your profile, and they probably have a 200-page report on all of your activity, everything that you do. And what they're doing is, for us marketers, they're putting together avatars, right? And they're taking information based off of your purchasing habits, based off what you like, your political beliefs, religious beliefs, anything and everything that you can think of, and dialing that down to put you into different buckets that can be marketed to. I mean, their algorithm within Facebook and what's tracking everything is so smart that it knows if you just slow down on a video. You don't even have to watch a video. You don't have to click it. You don't have to stop. Just slow down a little bit scrolling. It is tracking those finger movements on your phone, those swipes, everything that you're doing. They're taking a very deep look at and creating these avatars, and they give us as advertisers the ability to access that information. Very strategically targeting them, because that information, that data that Facebook provides is all there. We're able to go after them with very specific language to bring them through a funnel, and that funnel goes through a squeeze page. Not necessarily much different than probably things you've seen. A little more robust, certainly. The main difference is that we don't care about leads anymore. We capture a lead on the first page. Once that happens, they go to a second page and they fill out actually an application. And those applications ask very revealing questions and give you, the salesperson, the ammunition you need to actually be able to sell this person. And it puts the prospect in a place where they've been vulnerable answering these questions. And so they're a much warmer lead than any sort of digital lead you've probably talked to before. Obviously, you receive that information. We're also able to, as soon as they land on that page, we retarget them. So Facebook allows us to pixel that page, and we can retarget them with an ad based off of where they landed in the funnel, right? So you've essentially got 3 pages. So the first page is someone that just landed on the page, didn't give us a lead, exits out. We've now got that person. Google says someone has to see something 5 to 12 times before making a purchasing decision. Same thing with bringing in leads through these different conversion ads. So we're able to retarget them, trying to bring them back to the page. If they land on the second page, meaning they've filled out the form as a lead, but they haven't filled out the application, we can say, hey, you made it this far, complete your application. So we're redirecting them with ads. And the last level would be the thank you page, which they'd land on. We actually pull them out of the advertisements. And there's some different things we do with those, but of course you don't want to continue to pay to advertise to someone who has already executed the goal that we want, right? You're following up with them at that point over the phone. And then obviously the whole email nurture process as well, that we're able to take advantage of once we capture that lead, and that lead is being pushed to complete the application process as well. So that's obviously kind of the front end of all of this. There's also the back end of this, which is the Infusionsoft integration and the follow-up portion of that. Um, so with Facebook, we're able to dial in our demographic, right? Use marketing to bring them in to a funnel, and then on the back end, we're able to do a few different things. One is sell them, right? Wow them through this email automation. There's this great example of strawberry farmers. I guess back in the day, they would yield their crop, and they would, after they yielded their crop, they would burn the field and start over for the next season. This one, I guess, renegade farmer decided, instead of burning my crop like all the other strawberry farmers, I'm going to nurture, use that word very strategically, I'm going to nurture these leads, or rather these strawberries a little bit longer, and he was able to yield 80% more crop than the other strawberry farmers. And so it's the same way with leads. And so it's really interesting, we're able to use this Facebook marketing, pull a prospect through this funnel, and obviously create sales, right? And we've already done that. In one way or another, they've come through this process. We've brought them in. We've made a sale. We have buyers. We have former buyers. We're also able to take that list, so people that have purchased with us before, and upload that list into Facebook. We can do a couple things with those lists, and all of you have lists, right? We can retarget them with ads. So currently, we can take that list. Again, of former buyers, target them with specific information. We can take people that haven't purchased yet, right? To retarget them. We can also take those buyers lists and former buyers lists and create lookalike audiences. So Facebook allows us to run audience insights on these lists and create from a 1% to a 5% differential from your current list. So again, based off of all that activity I talked through earlier, purchasing habits, interests, activities, things like that, you can run a list that looks just like your list. It's only a 1% differential from that list, 2% like your list, 2 to 5%, etc. And we're able to take those lists and go and find our avatars based off people who have purchased from us before. We're also able to look at those lists and what specific interests they're into, and we can push those back through these funnels that we've built to create sales as well. So we pull these interest lists, and then we're able to set ad sets within Facebook at $5 a day based off of those interests. So you've got your campaign, which is the goal of the campaign. And typically what we run is specific interest and conversion. That means we're telling Facebook, go find me somebody that's going to fill out my form, right? So they take, based off of all that data that they have, they take that information and they're going after that specific audience within however you've set your targeting. Your targeting is within the ad sets, which includes that interest. So again, a lot of advertisers, if they are using interest, they'll group a bunch together. It could just be one interest in that group that's converting, but they don't know because they're all grouped together. We're running at one interest a day, again, based off of that data that we've taken, right? And so again, what I do is I come in here, I've got my dashboard set up. I know what my cost per application should be, so it should be $36. Now, this right here is a retargeting ad. So you can see this is someone who viewed page 2, not page 3. So they've given us their information as a lead. We're saying, come fill out your application. That's a little high. It's okay if our retargeting ads are outside of KPI because, again, the audience is smaller, right? So that cost is going to be driven up because that audience is smaller of someone who's actually clicked through, etc. But for all of our interest ads, again, I'm looking at Beachbody, right? Anyone that likes Beachbody that we're targeting. We've gotten 17 applications, 61 leads on that interest alone in the past 30 days. That's at $27 per application. I just need to stay under 36, $18, 31, 19, et cetera, and so on. Another retargeting ad right there. So I'm able to look at these, and again, what I've done is I've turned off anything that's not working, and I either increase or continue to run anything that is working. And so that really gives us control over the campaign like nothing we've ever done before. It's something you have to manage daily. There is no, again, set it and forget it or anything like that. But that is something that we're able to really manage, and it's extremely powerful.